Testing 1, 2. Hail Sapiens, my name is Midnight Dante, and finally, welcome to the Persona 5 review. So, before I get started here, being as if I can't really stream, I don't have a capture card or anything for my PC back there, which y'all know my story, the ones that have been here for a while. But I disabled the comments because this is mostly for recorded purposes. So for those that are watching, just watch. Sorry for the disablement of the comments. You guys can comment on the page, and I'll look at your comments later on my YouTube page. But I won't be able to see it while I'm streaming right now. But anyways, Persona 5. Holy shit, this is a really good game. Really, really good game. So, as a lot of you may know, because I've mentioned it either on social media or on other YouTube streams, I bought the steel case edition of Persona 5. So yeah, this is the limited steel bookcase that I got for pre-ordering the game. But it's not this video isn't just for the case, which is it's still nice. Sorry. So basically, this is a spoilers version. So if anybody's planning on playing the game, you do not have to watch this. Actually, if you're a Persona fan and you have not played the game yet, or not finished beating the game yet, and you want to play it or whatever, do not watch this video. But anyways, Persona 5. So I got done this morning, I believe, or actually at noon, at 12:30 or something. Today, beating and finishing the game. And I gotta say, and I don't throw this word around hardly ever, but I will for this. I fell in love with this game. And I'm not gonna say too much because I'm not gonna give my rating, because I'm gonna, closer to the end of this video, I am gonna announce out of 10 what I rate the game. But just right now, this game is amazing. Basically, it's about a protagonist. He has no name. You choose a name for him. But let's say, because this has to do with a group of people that he meets up with. They're called the Phantom Thieves. The Phantom Thieves, and they all have nicknames. So the protagonist, they actually nicknamed him Joker. So we're gonna go with Joker, but in reality, an actual name, you can choose your own name for the protagonist, which I named mine a little bit after the protagonist of Persona 4. Just the last name. I gave him a different first name, but I called my character Akira Narukami, which the protagonist in the 4th game, and the anime, in the regular game, you can choose the name for him, but in the anime, they named him Yu Narukami. So I named him Akira Narukami. So I was like, hey, say his son is now, or whatever, just whatever, just in my head, I'm gonna make it his son or something, his nephew, his cousin, whatever, brother, which I don't think they're brothers, because the protagonist in the 4th game has silver hair, which a lot of you on Facebook may remember. I tried to do my hair silver for a little while. But yeah, he's got black hair, he's got glasses, so forth. So it starts off, and I'm not going to give you the whole entire story. I'm going to try to condense it a little bit, because I'm trying to do this video like at least the minimum 30 minutes most 40 minutes. I'm not trying to go fast. So basically, it starts off in this interrogation room in like it looks like an FBI building, but it's not an FBI building. It takes place in Japan. Interrogation building. A bunch of cops like take him into this interrogation room. They drug him with some kind of sedative or something, because they believe he's like violent or something, but which he's not. And they sit him in the interrogation room, and the cops or whatever they are, they're like policemen in suits. They look like I said, they look like FBI agents. And they start questioning him a little bit, and then they start to like beat him up, and hey, they throw water on him and what so forth, and he's all bruised up and everything. And they handcuff him to like a chair. So they sit him down right there, and they're like, we'll be back. So they take off and whatever. So like 2-3 minutes later, this police woman police detective shows up, and she starts interrogating him. And she says, so right now you're notorious for the Phantom Thieves and this, you're the leader and whatnot. And so basically she's like, so I want to hear your story from the beginning. So basically, the game doesn't take place like from the beginning. It takes place from the story he's giving. So he starts off telling the story of how he came to be in the town he's in. Basically, it's and all the previous Persona games, they've given each town like different like fake names, like fiction names. In this game, they've actually given actual Japanese locations: Shibuya, Shinjuku, Tokyo, whatever. They actually mention Hawaii in here too. So, but yeah, it takes place in a place called Yongen next to Shibuya. So he starts off saying that in his hometown, where he's from, he walks into a crime of this bald guy. He's harassing this woman, and basically the woman's like, oh, stop, like normal's like, oh, I don't know. And so the protagonist, he goes up to them and he's like, hey, stop this. Or you can pick, because he dreams about it too, so it goes at it in detail, but he talks a little bit about it. So he goes up to the guy and, hey, stop. And the guy's like, hey, watch it, buddy, or whatever. And the girl's like, oh, please help me, and this and this. And so the protagonist pushes away the guy and that's harassing the girl. And the girl's like, I mean, not the girl, the guy is like, hey, I'll sue. So like, I'm gonna sue you, kind of thing. And after that, it cuts out of that scene. So basically, it shows that the guy, the protagonist, he gets in trouble for it. They try to send him to juvenile hall. He's like 17 or 16, I believe. And basically, they told him, okay, you can stay out of juvenile hall, but we're going to put you on probation. You cannot stay in your hometown anymore for 1 year. We're going to send you to Yongen, which is close to Shinjuku. And this man that owns a coffee shop and curry shop, he offered to take you in so he can help your rehabilitation and you have to make sure you don't get in trouble this whole year, and then you can go back home and your charges should be okay. So basically, the guy that owns the coffee shop, his name is Sojiro. I forgot his name. They only mentioned his first name once in the whole game, and I forgot it. But his name, his last name. Actually, no. Sojiro is his first name. I'm sorry. It's Sojiro Sakura. That's the name of the the owner of the coffee shop. And once he picks him up, he's like, well, I guess you're a criminal now, so nobody wanted to take you in, so I figured, hey, I'm gonna take you in. So while you're here, you better not get into trouble because I'm gonna kick your ass out. So So you better do a good job. You're gonna start school, live a normal high school life. You're probably gonna be your school the school that you're going to knows that you're a criminal. So you better watch your step. So basically, he takes him in, he shows him to his room and everything. The next day after he settles in, Sojiro takes him to school, and basically, yeah, they go talk to the principal, and then they talk to his homeroom teacher and everything. And the homeroom teacher, she's like, "Oh, why am I the one supposed to show him around? He's in a criminal, right? I don't know if I'm safe around him or whatnot." And the principal was like, "We are a prestigious private school, and no other school wanted to take you, but you know what? Out of the kindness of my heart, I decided that we'll take you. But if you do anything to break the rules of the school, we are gonna send you out of here." So I hope that we can have an okay year here at Yasogami High, which is the name of the high school, Yasogami High. So basically, they talk and everything. They're like, "You're gonna start tomorrow. This is just introduction." So he goes home after he's done with the introductions, meets the teacher and says, "Hey, I'm your homeroom teacher. Hopefully you don't give me any problems." So they're treating him like a criminal. And this is for him protecting this girl. And so at this point, we don't know too much about what happened, why he's a criminal, other than he tried to save the lady and the guy says, "I'll sue." So basically, he starts off and then he starts going to school the next day. So when he's on his way to school, well, okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Basically, Sojiro tells him, "Well, I'm not gonna be taking you to school anymore. It's a pain in the ass. It's so much traffic, so you're gonna have to take the subway." So basically, now when he's going to school, this is the next day now, he's taking the subway, and on his way to school, he sees this blonde-haired guy. Like, he's walking, he's disgruntled and whatnot, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess he notices that the guy goes to the same school. He's like, "Oh, I guess this guy goes to Yasogami High." So basically, he goes his own way a little bit, and once he goes on the subway, and once he goes through the subway and gets to school, he runs into the blonde guy that he ran in at the beginning of the subway. And the blonde-haired guy is like, "Hey, I've never seen you at our school before. You knew?" So they start talking and this and this. "Okay, my name is Ryuji," which is the name of the blonde guy. "Nice to meet you, this and this." And he tells him about his story. He's like, "Oh, you're the transfer student. I heard you're a criminal, this and this." And it's like, "Well, I'm not a big hit at my school either, so we might fit in." So basically, I guess Ryuji's a delinquent or whatever. So they start hitting it off. They're talking. So they start walking to the school after the subway. And basically, they're like, the blonde guy's like, "I think the school's this way." So they go into this alley to try to take a shortcut, and they run into this castle, basically. And it's like, "What the hell? I thought the school was right here. Why is there a castle here? I don't remember it being a castle." So like, okay, well, forget the castle. Let's try to go a different way to see if we find the school. So every so often they try to take different routes, and they keep running into the castle to try to find the school. It's like, what the hell, man? Why do we keep running into this castle? So basically, he's like, the school should be right here. And he sees, it's like, "Well, you want to take a go? I think we're already late for school. You want to take a look at this castle?" And the guy was like, "Well," the protagonist, he's like, "Well, so much for the first day of school. I guess I'm already considered a criminal. It's already going to look odd that I'm showing up late. So why not? I'll go check out the castle with this guy." So basically, they go inside this castle, and it looks like medieval and stuff. It's like, wow, we never knew this castle was here. The blonde guy was saying this. So they go in, and sorry, this is the beginning of the game. Just before I continue, I did 129 hours and 32 minutes of gameplay for this game, so it's a lot of hours. And then I was on vacation for 2 weeks in between, so I don't remember too much of the beginning. So I'm trying to think real quick, but okay, so basically they go in, I guess they find like a dungeon, they see a lot of cells, and he's like, why is there kids in the cells here? What's going on? And some guards come out and say, hey, what are you doing here? And they start chasing us. They start chasing the protagonist and the blonde guy. So they start to run. So basically they escape from the guards and they find a cell. There's this like somebody, like a voice is like, hey, you guys over here, I'm over here. So they get their attention and they go to the cell and they notice this short cat human thing, it looks like it's wearing a cat costume, is in the cell calling them over, and he's like, hey, you guys, can you break me out of the cell? And the guy is like, well, how can we trust you? What, you could be with those guys? He's like, I'm in jail right now, so why would I be working with these guys? Come on, I'll show you the way out. I know you guys are trying to look for the way out. I'll show you the way out. So basically they break out this cat person from the jail cell, and he starts showing you around, and basically you run into some guards, and it says, oh, we're gonna have to fight. And there's a cutscene that shows up that the protagonist goes into this, he blacks out and he goes into this blue room. And once you see he's in a jail cell in this blue room, and he's like, wait, why am I in this jail cell? I thought I was at a castle right now. And outside of the jail cell, there's two short girls wearing like blue warden's clothes, and it's like, and I'm sorry, they have like nightsticks and they're banging on the cell. They're like, wake up, inmate. They're calling the protagonist inmate like he's a convict. He's like, I'd like to talk to you, and the protagonist is confused. Is like, what's going on here? Right in front of the jail cell, and that I'm in, the protagonist, and in front of the two girls is this man, like this old man with kind of long gray hair and a long pointy nose. And he's like, welcome to the Velvet Room. This place lies beyond dream and reality, mind and matter. So basically, I'm in a place called the Velvet Room, and he's talking about, you are one of the chosen ones to take part in personas. And basically it's like, the protagonist is like, what's personas? And the guy was like, well, before we get into it, introductions are in order. My name is Igor, which basically it's funny, his name is Igor, which this character, he comes out in almost every Persona game, which is the fourth one too. So he says, okay, now that introductions are over with, I will explain to you personas. Your persona is, he's a part of your soul and whatever. His name is Arsene, or Arsene, whatever, I forget. And he's like, this will be your guide into fighting shadows. You will be investigating a metaverse of a parallel universe of your world, and you will have to go on adventures and this and this. So this will not be our only meeting. We will meet countless times, and I will explain things to you. New opportunities will come open for you, and I will explain them all to you. So go back to where you were. So he sends me back to that castle. So the cat thing and Ryuji, the blonde guy, is like, hey man, are you okay? He's like, we're in trouble here. What do we do? And so the protagonist, he's like, he closes his eyes and he's like, persona. So his persona shadow thing comes out, and the cat being is like, the cat person was like, do you have a persona? So I guess the cat being is like, oh, I have one too. I can teach you how to fight. He's like, what about you, Blondie? Do you have one? He's like, I don't know what a persona is. I just met this guy today. So basically, we start to fight, and the cat was saying, hey, you got to do this and this, and it's kind of teaching me the ropes of what to do, of fighting. Basically, the fighting in this game is like Pokemon, but a lot more interesting. Like Pokemon and original Final Fantasy put together. So basically, it's a lot more interesting. And after you get taught the ropes, you defeat the enemy, the guard. You start going out of the castle, and you find a way out. So basically, once you find a way out of the castle, the cat being is like, okay, thank you for showing me, breaking me out, and this. I don't think we'll meet again, or whatever. So basically, the cat tells you, hopefully we don't run into each other again, and we find a way out of that universe thing we were in, the metaverse. So basically, once we are out of that metaverse, we land out onto the street right in front of the high school. So once we see that, they're like, oh man, we're in front of the high school, the blonde guys. So they go into the high school, and they come across a PE teacher, which his name was Kamishita. And Kamishita was like, well, aren't you the new student? And you're a criminal, aren't you? Not a good first day. And Ryuji, our neighborhood delinquent. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised that you two met? So basically, the principal comes out of the office, is like, and the homeroom teacher, they're like, you're late. So, this and this, they're scolding both of the kids, and basically, your guardian, which is the guy I'm staying with at the coffee shop. So basically,